This year isn't about a trophy. This year isn't about a placing. This year is about proving to people that what they saw in 2022 was only a fraction of what I can be. 2024 is about the year of redemption. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the video. In today's video, I thought I would go ahead and take you guys through what my morning routine looks like during prep. I think that a morning routine is something that is very, very important, especially when it comes to being in a prep, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of things that you have to get done on a daily basis. You have to get your cardio done, you have to get your training done, all while still doing that with your normal work, which, whether you work a 9-to-5 job, whether you work from home like I do, you got to make sure that you really set your day up properly to be able to incorporate all of those things, to make sure that you are ticking all of those boxes, because essentially that's what a bodybuilding prep is about, is making sure that we are able to tick all of those boxes on a daily basis leading into that show. So I thought that I would go ahead and take you guys through what my morning routine looks like to set myself up for a successful day and set myself up for a successful prep. But as you guys have seen, I usually wake up right around 6 o'clock. From there, I will go ahead, get dressed, head downstairs, and the first thing that I will actually do is I'll actually go and hydrate myself. This is something that I think a lot of people miss out on, is actually hydrating themselves before they have some sort of caffeinated beverage. A lot of people will just roll out of bed dehydrated already and then immediately go drink a caffeinated beverage, and then this is just going to dehydrate you further, which is not going to be optimal for performance. It's not going to be optimal for your energy levels. So we want to make sure that we are getting hydrated first. So before I even drink my coffee, or before I even make my coffee, I will go ahead and I'll have probably about 500 milliliters of water, and I'll go ahead and add an electrolyte powder to that to get some good potassium in there, to get some sodium in there, to get some magnesium in there, to make sure that we are going ahead and we are replenishing those electrolytes from sleeping and being dehydrated for the last 8 to 10 hours. The next thing I will do is I will go ahead and I will make my coffee and then fill up my water bottle before heading upstairs here to my desk. Once I get up here to my desk, the first thing that I actually do is I go ahead and journal. Now, I think that this is something that is very good for putting yourself into a good headspace leading into the day. So I go ahead and I sit down here and I journal for probably about 10 to 15 minutes. The things that I personally journal are going to be positive affirmations. These are things that I want to speak belief into. These are things that I want to reinforce into my head that are going to be positive beliefs, such as, I am worthy of happiness, or something along the lines of that I can go ahead and reinforce that idea in my head. After I've gone ahead and written those things down, I'll actually go ahead and almost sit here in kind of like a little bit of a meditative state, where I'll go ahead, I will just kind of clasp my hands, I will close my eyes, and I'll go ahead and read back everything that I just journaled down, and I'll read that back to myself in my head before moving forward. Once I've done that, I like to go ahead and read for about 15 minutes. I find that it's really good to always continue to expand your knowledge. It's always really good to stimulate your brain especially in the morning before you're going to dive into some work. So I'll go ahead and read for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once that is all said and done, I will finally go ahead and dive into my work. As you guys just saw there, I was doing a client check-ins today, so I was knocking some of those out this morning. I really like to do a lot of my heavier work first thing in the morning. Like once I go to the gym later, once I train, once I get back from that, I find that my ability to form cohesive sentences like I am right now really starts to diminish. So that's why I like doing things such as client check-ins this morning, any videos that I need to make, any heavier work that I really need to use a lot of brain power for. I like to go ahead and knock that out first thing in the morning. Yeah, it is right now 7 o'clock, so we've been up for about an hour. I'll probably sit here at my desk for about another hour and get some more work done before I go ahead and get ready for cardio. So I'm gonna go ahead, chip away at some more client check-ins, and then I will catch up with you guys in a bit. Okay, it is time for cardio. So about probably 20 minutes before I do cardio, I go ahead and I've been taking this fat burner recently, probably for the last 4 or 5 weeks. You guys would have saw it in one of my previous videos. This is just Burn from Raw. This is just a thermogenic powder. I'll be honest with you, using it over the last kind of 5-ish weeks, I don't know if I felt that big of a difference from it, but it does obviously have some ingredients such as L-carnitine, such as caffeine, such as yohimbine as well, that we do know does help in fat burning and fat mobilization. So I still have been using this. I'm gonna go ahead and take 1 scoop of this and get that down. Okay, cardio is about to go down. I have drank my fat burner. So currently we are doing 45 minutes of cardio fasted in the morning. I'm fortunate enough that I just have a treadmill down here in my basement, so I don't have to worry about driving to the gym twice a day, because that would really cut a chunk of time out of my day. But we're gonna go ahead and knock this out. I do my cardio at about an 8% incline and then 4.6 miles per hour on the treadmill. It is pretty fast, but it needs to be obviously in order to get my heart rate up, as opposed to something such as a Stairmaster where you can get your heart rate up a lot easier. So it's not too long, but it's still long enough that I'm like, okay, once I'm done it, I'm like, thank God that shit is done. So wish me luck. Okay, that was fun. 45 minutes of cardio done. I'll have another 35 probably to do later post-workout. Cardio is relatively high right now, but as of tomorrow, we are 8 weeks out from the first show, so it's definitely grind time. It's time to pull off that last bit of fat. But yeah, 45 minutes of cardio done. So now what I will do twice a week after cardio, I've been doing this the whole time, but I will go ahead and actually practice my vacuums. So if you don't know what a vacuum is, I'm sure some of you have seen Chris Bumstead before when he goes ahead and he sucks all of the air out of the room. That is what a vacuum is going to be. And it's actually something that a lot of people do struggle to actually be able to pull a vacuum, and I like practicing them for a couple of different reasons. First one is going to be, I actually like personally pulling a vacuum for some of my poses on stage. And the second reason is it just really helps with learning good abdominal control. Being able to contract and being able to pull in your abdominals is a really good thing to be able to practice. So if you cannot perform a vacuum standing, a really good way that you can go ahead and start off is actually going to be laying flat on the floor. I'll go ahead and show you here in a minute, but this is a really good way that you can go ahead and just start out if you've never been able to do a vacuum before, because gravity's helping you. Essentially, gravity is helping you pull those abdominals in, and then you can slowly progress that over time to being able to do it standing. But let's go ahead and dive into those. We are going to do 2 rounds of 5 reps, so let's go ahead and dive into that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just pull up my shirt here so that you guys can see my stomach as I vacuum. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and just blow out all of my air. We're just going to go ahead and exhale, take a big breath out. You can do that a couple times if you need to just get into the feel of it, to blow all the air out. And then at the end of your exhale, you're going to go ahead and suck in as hard as you can, thinking about bringing your belly button to your spine, basically, is what you want to think about. You want to think about bringing your belly button down to the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and breathe all the air out. And then suck it in. and then I'll go ahead and do that 5 more times, and then I'll do 2 rounds of that. I'll take a break after the first 5 reps, and then I'll go ahead and do the second 5 reps. So again, breathe all the air out. Suck it in. And that is going to be a good way that you can go ahead and practice your vacuums. If you've never done a vacuum before, that is a great way to start, is starting on the floor like that. And then you can slowly progress to standing up, leaning over a little bit, doing things that make it a little bit more difficult so that you can progress it just like any other exercise. So I'm going to go ahead and knock out a couple more reps of that, and then we'll move into the next part. Okay, last thing that I will do, and then I do this every morning, I'll spend about probably 10 or 15 minutes just doing some stretches. I think it's very good to stay mobile, stay functional, especially as a bodybuilder. We don't practice our mobility enough or our flexibility either. So this is actually why I feel like a lot of people do struggle to take their muscles through a full range of motion when they are training, is because they just don't have the mobility to do so. So I'm just going to go ahead and run through just some basic stretches. I only do this for about 10 minutes, but I do this 6 days a week. So I'll go ahead and kind of just show you guys what I do. Okay, cardio is done, stretching is done, vacuums are done, we are showered and ready to go. So now it is time to do my progress photos. I do my own personal progress photos every Friday, so I'm going to go ahead and run through those real quick. Okay, progress pictures are done. All in all, feeling pretty good with how I am looking at 8 weeks out. I'm feeling very, very flat and depleted right now, but that is a part of the game when we are 8 weeks out. But guys, that is pretty much going to be it as far as my morning routine goes. As you guys can see, I actually jam quite a bit into the first 4 or 5 hours of my day. I like to do this because I just feel good when I wake up, and like I said, once I get back from training here in a couple of hours, I'm pretty dead. Like, I'm pretty tired, I'm pretty dead from doing that second cardio session, from doing my training. I'm pretty tired at that point, and I just want to hang out and relax and maybe do a little bit of light work. So I like to get most of my hard stuff done in the morning, which includes, cardio, getting some work done, all of those sorts of different things. So that is kind of how I go ahead and structure my morning routine to make sure that I'm setting myself up for the most successful day possible. Because like I said, especially during prep, it is about stringing those days together that you can go ahead and make sure that you are ticking all the boxes. That's something that is very, very important, especially in a bodybuilding prep, is going to be having that consistency and having that routine to make sure all of the boxes get ticked. But I hope that you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to drop a like on it. I would greatly appreciate it. As well, if you're new around here, make sure to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future content. Other than that, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.